Hey guys, so we've selected our team for the next game. The next event, we didn't actually have to select the team then, but we did it as we were dealing with teams. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go onto the main page and we're going to look at all the things that I've not really gone into detail on the previous videos. So I think I've covered most things. So this is the position. Now, this is the position that you want to play them on the pitch, not their actual position. So I want to play this. This is going to be my right defender. This will correspond with tactics. I may be repeating things out, but this is the formation I generally play. So this corresponds. So shirt number 4. This is the shirt numbers, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to add that. So shirt number 7, you'll see, is an attacking left midfielder. So we just check that. Number 7, Bryant, left midfielder. I mean, I know this is, but attacking. There we go, Bryant. So that's that bit. This is his status, so I'm going to be color coding these. But these are just the notes that you get on the selection page. So you see, you got here. I've got a loan in. I've got another loan. He's not for sale. He's on a yellow card, and they will all appear here. I think these are fairly useful information. I might not want to select this game because I'm a team for the next game because I want it for game 48. This is the player's name, obviously. This is his skill as listed by PitchSide Manager, and this is his skill as listed by the weighted stats. I'm going to show you another video on how to weight the stats. So what you're going to do is he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 stats on the pitch: handling, aerial strength, tackling, etc. What you need to decide, there is a default built into the system, but what you need to decide is how much each player is going to use each skill in the game. So a goalkeeper, for example, you might set his handling at 50%, you might set his aerial at 20%, shooting you might set at 1%, but those 12 need to add up to 100%. Stamina is always taken separately because stamina is stamina. Stamina doesn't do anything in the game as far as I'm aware. What it does, it determines how their energy is affected by playing in a game. So once you've weighted the stats, you then need to sort of it'll give you a different rating, and what it will also do is it'll give you a different rating. Let me show you Zerlu. He can play defensive midfield left, which we don't have. What is it? Yeah, so look, if we played him, why is that not? Oh, it's because I've done it. Yeah, sorry. This isn't an input screen. So I might have just mucked things up. Yeah, that's not an input screen. I meant to say that. The inputs are all done on input. So what I'm going to do is, as a test, I'm going to pop Zerlo in multiple positions. There we go. You won't do this yourself because it's pointless. Why? Okay, this is something that needs work. Zerlu 63. Training C3. Training C3. Oh, he can not play in those positions. Okay, right, okay, ignore what I've said on that. This is another good reason for making videos, actually, because it exposes little errors that I've made. Or not necessarily errors, but things that aren't working properly yet. So, anyway, back to in hand. And I completely forgot. Oh yeah, I was going through all the other features. So, we've got his injury status or suspension. We've got his, this is just his number. You can put anything you want for this number. I've divided it into first team, reserve team, development players. And that's the player's name, that's the skill, that's the important. This column, this reflects his skill in relation to the reserve player. So Gad is 61, Bowyer is 57. So Gad is 107% of Bowyer, and Bowyer is 94% of Gad. So I've got a situation here. 50, 50. Right, so what it's what I can see straight away that's telling me is that this player Wu, who's rated 53, is actually better in defence midfield centre than Radu, who's rated at 53. 53. So maybe I want to swap those two round. Maybe I don't, because that's why I've been putting him on subs bench. And likewise, Burnett is attack midfield left Bryant 56, 60, 56, 56. So actually, I've got a player who might actually be to do with his training, to be honest with you. So straight away, it's flagged up players that I'm playing in the wrong position, or rather the wrong squad. So that's the way I can improve my teams. Right, so on to the next. We've got age, and I've got flags on these. Anyone who's 30 or over comes up in red, because obviously they're old. And anyone who's 20, I think it's 21 or younger, yeah, it's 21 or younger, they come up as green, because it's showing that they're young players. Next column is their wage, and these have got different flags depending on which squad they're in. If they're in the first squad, they get flagged up as red if their wage is higher than twice the average. I think yes, twice the average. So they're earning quite a lot of money compared to the rest of the team. Reserve players, I think they are. Yeah, they're being flagged if they're twice the average of the reserve players, and they're being flagged as well in yellow if they're higher. Let me have a look. Right, they get flagged in red if they're higher than the average first teamer, and they're flagged in yellow if they're twice the reserve wage. So these four players here, they're actually earning more money than some of the first teamers. So again, this is something you can make an informed choice. You can say, well, if they're getting paid to not play, should I perhaps be looking at either getting rid of them or looking at playing them? They're sort of upper middle age. So right, then we've got contracts, and these are flagged yellow if they're less than 64 days, and red if it's less than 14. So they're just little flags there that say maybe needs attention. This is experience. They're flagged red if they're, I think it's just red if they're less than 100. So I've got players, obviously these players I don't worry about their experience because they're playing week in, week out. So that will just go up itself. But reserve players, obviously I need to get them on the suspension in order to raise that experience. This is their squad status, and that will be pulled in automatically. However, every now and again you get a player who has this little box there. When that box appears, it doesn't pull in their status, so you need to actually change it on the inputs. You'll see manual contract club standing, and I've actually written some in there. If it doesn't, right, let's have Zerlu, who's a fringe player. What happens if you don't? It automatically flags them up as a great big red player. So it's a little flag there, just saying, oh, hang on, because these do change sometimes on a game-to-game basis. I've forgotten what Zerlu is. Fringe player. See, obviously Zerlu doesn't want to be a fringe player. Now, what will happen is if they have a squad status pulled in and you write a manual one in, it shouldn't pull the manual in. It should take it. So I'm going to make this status up. We're going to test that. There we go. Look, he's still a first team regular. But if I don't remove that incorrect status, then if one day he loses that, if that status turns to that box, it will then pull that in automatically. But I'm trying not to focus on this for now. Right, so I mentioned this is the recommended games, and this is how many games he's played. This is his sharpness. This is his attitude. Now I'm not able to pull the number in, because I've just got to pull the word in. But I think I've got some flags on here. No, I've got no flags, but I'm going to put flags in. Right, the next column is their stamina, and that's flagged green, I think, for 90 plus, red for 75, less than 75, and everything else is yellow. It just shows you at a glance. All the green ones, I personally wouldn't train them in stamina until there's nothing else left to train, because anyone who's got 80 or above, I think, yeah, they can play 6 games on the trot, and you very rarely play more than 6 games on the trot. The only time you really need 99 stamina is if you're a team that's like, say, a top Division 1 team. They're going to reach cup finals. They're in the inter-region cups, and perhaps going to reach the semi or the finals of those. So they're probably not getting a game's rest until there is. Well, I don't think there are any natural breaks in the game. Right. So the next column along, that's a little calculation that tells you how many energy they lose for for playing, and how many they gain for not playing. The next column is their energy, which is normally a direct import, but if this game here is a rest game, it will add on this to that. And then the next one is what their stamina energy will be like after the next game, actual playing a game, based on their selection. Then you have a handy little thing for their stats. Suggested training. This hasn't been updated. Oh, this is wrong. This is going to be updated, but this is going to be their training. And what I've done is you don't have to follow this, but on the inputs you've got a check. What I would suggest is periodically you just get a few players and you just check all of these details. You check their manual club standing, you check which stats have been maxed out, you check their training level, and you check whether they should still be on that training. I don't know what that meant, but I don't think it does anything. And this will actually flag up after 10 days, I think. There we go. So once that date is more than 7 days old, it comes up red. So it's just sort of says, hang on, let's have a little look at this player. You should, as you do normal things with them, select them, do their training, you should be updating these anyway. So when you do these checks, there's probably going to be nothing to check. So yeah, that's the main page. This is the matches that they've played in the last 10 days. These are the 3 upcoming games. This is what their sharpness should look like in the next game based on the selection. And this is a little handy guide to tell you which ones to pick as subs. This is going to go through a revamp. So I'm not going to explain that one for now. This is something I'm working on. I want to work out tactics. I want it to suggest tactics to you, but that's something in the future. So that, guys, that's the main page. It's 20 past 5 now, which means that my senior training, my youth training, right, my senior training has been completed this morning, so that's going to be my next video, and then I'll follow that up with the youth training. And then I'll do the part 2 on the diary, which will close that up. Okay, guys, thank you for watching.